to sit. Hang on a second. Oh, I got a good message. So yeah, we are looking for a decent spot out here in the swamps. Well, in the floodplain area. We can find a spot to sit so we can all talk. We're starting to get to some dry ground. All right. Hey, Nightshade. First, what's up? Oh, I'm out in the swamp. Let's see. This looks like a good spot to sit. We can just sit here underneath this tree until it starts getting dark and talk. What's up, Bubba? What's up, Skulls? Oh. Sitting down out here in nature and enjoying it until the sun goes down. Hi, everybody. No problem there, Nightshade. By the way, I want to show you guys something. See this little plant right here? This is a plant from my childhood that I like to call a wait a minute vine. Because when you see it and you're running through the woods, you have to go, wait a minute, and stop before you run into this sucker. This thing is gnarly. Look at that. And it just goes all the way up the tree. So yeah, that's a wait a minute vine, guys. Hey, Jen, what's up, my baby? Skulls Edits. Yeah, that's a wait a minute vine. That's a gnarly sucker. You know, and them things can get that big around. I've always wanted to take one, dry it out, and use it for a walking cane. How's everybody doing today? You know, welcome in. So, yeah, tonight's reconnecting to nature. You know, I'm out here in my backyard. I had to walk through the wettest part of the yard to get here. The part that actually connects to the swamp. But y'all hear it when I go back inside. Yeah. And you see, I'm sitting here. I'm not barefoot. I'm in rubber boots. But it's because we got snakes. We have something called wait a while. It's a plant that if you step on it, you won't know until you wait a while. Oh, I got you. So we got a wait a minute vine and a wait a while. That's cool. You know, the one thing I'd never want to step on that y'all have is rocks or stonefish. No. Never want to step on one of them. But anyway, reconnecting to nature, guys. Let's get into that. So, yeah, man, I don't know how it is for you city folks. I don't know how it is for you people who have been raised in suburbia your whole life or who have been kept inside your whole life. I can't speak for y'all. I can only speak for myself. But what I can tell you guys is that coming out here, sitting amongst the trees, listening to the birds and the frogs, you know, it's just, we had geese flying over earlier, you know, it's the ultimate song. It's soothing to the soul, and it's a precious thing that many of us either refuse to do or lack the will to do or are too scared to. Do you know there's some people that are scared of nature? And don't get me wrong, Mother Nature's scary. You know, she's red in claw and fang. But at the same time, Mother Nature is beautiful. She's soothing. You know, she cures us when we're sick. She holds us and warms us with the sun's light. You know, she bathes us in moonlight whenever we want to go swimming at night. You know, nature is all around us, and she's here for a reason, guys. And we're a part of it. Whether we think we are or we don't, you know, we're a part of Mother Nature. Human beings as a whole are part of Mother Nature. We always have been. We've just lost that because we're too busy cooped up in cities and apartments and worried about the next big thing and the next movie and the next fantasy series, that we forget that we live in a fantasy world, guys. We have dragons. They just don't breathe fire. You know, we have dinosaurs. They're just crocodiles. We have creatures that have been around since before the dinosaurs. I catch them all the time. They're called alligator gar. You know, guys, nature is amazing. We live in an incredible world. And all you've got to do is open up your eyes and look around you. Walk barefoot. Feel the vibrations of the earth in your hands. Sit down. Let your feet dig into the mud. Put your hands on the ground. And close your eyes. And just focus on your heartbeat. And believe it or not, after a while, you'll feel a buzzing in your hand. You know what that buzzing is? It's not your hand falling asleep, guys. It's you connecting with Mother Nature. It's you returning to your roots. And, it's so amazing to be able to sit and just enjoy myself. Just out here in the middle of nowhere. Not really the middle of nowhere. It's the middle of suburbia now, which kind of sucks. It used to be the middle of nowhere. But now it's kind of the middle of suburbia. But we left a little patch of trees and everything here specifically for me. Just so I could feel at home. That chickens evolved from T-Rexes. I've heard that. Ooh. Hopefully I don't get spat on by the sprinkler systems. Yes, we have sprinkler systems, by the way, guys. Okay, cool. I'm not going to get hit by them. I sat in the right spot. Yay! But yes, I know a lot of animals have evolved from the raptors were one of them. They evolved from velociraptors, and their species, the Dromaeosauridae. And then you have Tyrannosauridae, which evolved down to like ostriches and chickens and things of that sort. So yeah, I totally understand, about evolution and Dinosauria and on all those things. How Sir Waterhouse Hawkins, and Sir Richard Owen coined the phrase dinosaur in 1811. I believe it was 1811. They coined the phrase dinosaurs to the species because, they didn't know what they were seeing. And these were men of science and men of the church. And they didn't know what these things were. Some people claim they were demons and were terrified of them. I know I'm lagging a little bit, and I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little bit out of my Wi-Fi range. So I'm relying on my cell phone data. So I'm sorry if I'm lagging just a little bit. Oh yeah, nature is calming. Now, unfortunately, just like with your nature, their nightshade, I got to be a little careful around mine because I had to really pay attention before I sat down because I could have sat on a copperhead anytime. There's also water moccasins out here because there's so many frogs and rats and things of that sort. This is paradise for me, guys. This is, oh yeah, there's snakes. We've got 5 species of venomous snake here. We've got the water moccasin. We've got the copperhead. We've got the velvet-tailed canebrake rattlesnake. We've got the timber rattler. And then we have the coral snake, which all 4 of the first, the first 4, the copperhead, water moccasin, canebrake, and timber rattler are all vipers. But now the last one, the coral snake, it's an elapidid, which means it's a cobra. So it's actually an American cobra. That's pretty cool. It just doesn't have a hood. Instead, what they call the American cobra out here is the eastern hognose. And they're cute little guys. They got these little snoots that stick up. But they have a very mild venom. They can't do nothing to you. But they're a lot of fun to play with. Hi, other Jen. But yeah, it's things like this, reconnecting to nature, learning about the environment around you, learning how to identify things. Like when I take you guys out into the thicket next week, because that's when it's going to stop raining. When I take you guys out into the thicket, I'm going to show you guys how to track. I'm going to teach you guys how to see things. And I know that it's getting a little dark on you guys right now, but the sun's going down. And I do apologize. If I take the hat off, y'all can see my face better. So I'll take the hat off for now. You know, when we go to head back inside, I'll put it back on. 11:15 a.m. in Queensland. It's getting late. No, it's not getting late. Never mind. That would be p.m. You want to see things in the bush? Back out that way. I got my butt. But that's just what's around me. That's our neighbors. And then all that over there leads out to the swamp. We got one more neighbor right there. Yeah. So there you go. That's my swamp. My own little personal chunk. Yeah, it's pretty, isn't it? I got to cut down some of the taller grass and everything, unfortunately, but there's so much water right now, I can't do it. You know, weed eating all that water, it's going to be a rainy and 68 right now, Jen. I'm sorry, baby. Thank you for saying it's pretty. I must eat the bushes. Rock. I'm going to start calling you Om Nom. Yes, I did get my workout in, Rich. I just didn't film it because, you know, I didn't have a very good workout, guys. I kept slipping and busting my butt. I hit myself in the head with the axe. You know, it was not a good day for me to work out. I was butterfingers today. Oh, you eat leaves, Bubba? Must eat leaves. Oh, we got Gingin rolling. But yeah, guys, you see what happens when you reconnect with nature? Just sitting here for this short amount of time has put a huge smile on my face, guys. It's made me so much happier. Just being able to sit here, talk with you guys, and show off my little swamp. You know, my little billabong, as they would say in Australia. You know, this is my little habitat. And I wouldn't trade it. You know, it's a little wild. Not where most people would live. But it's where I will. Now and forever. So, coming here, touching swamp grass. Yeah, I'm literally sitting on the ground right now. Sitting up underneath a bunch of trees. You know, just sitting here. La 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 la. Let me help you guys out a little bit. Boom! We turn the brightness up on the camera, and there you go. Yeah, there we go. That should help a little bit. I know I'm lagging and it's pretty pixelated, but it'll get better when I go inside. But yeah, guys, you know, this has been a good live so far. You know, we've got 7 likes in here. I'd like to have seen more at 14 minutes, but at least we got a like every 2 minutes. That's not too bad. You know, so anyway, we're just sitting here and enjoying ourselves, guys. There's nothing better than this. You know, one of my favorite things is when August hits. Every now and then you can hear the gators bellowing, but it's not often. But you'll hear a gator bellow every now and then. You know, and right now we've got toads crying and spring peepers calling out. The fireflies are coming in. You know, it's Twilight has a beauty to it. And I'm not talking about the book. I'm talking about actual twilight. When the sun is most of the way down, but there's still enough light to see. Actual twilight has a grace and a beauty to it. That's when the creatures of the night and the creatures of the light can actually conjoin and be around each other for a short amount of time. But unfortunately, it's also when the predators come out. So here in a little bit, I'll have to crawl my happy butt back up into the trailer. But I just wanted to enjoy this for... Oh! I ain't even going to try to film that. That was a bat. But, yeah. He came whizzing past the camera. Oh, look. Watch. You guys can see the fireflies. Hang on. There they go. See if they'll do it again. There's one. Yeah, we have fireflies, man. No, no eat me. If you eat me, you will have high cholesterol, I promise. And I might be a little spicy. Sweet and spicy. Wait a minute, that sounds tasty. All right, I need to quit before I bite into my damn self. Hey, wait a minute, not you. All right, it's time to head on back in before you guys can't see me anymore. All right, let's get on through here. Now we're starting to hit the squishy parts. I gotta pay attention because there's a hole around here somewhere. All right. Squished all the way up to the front door. Give me just a second. I'll get into the bed. Oh. And get these rubber boots off. And we're back. Now you guys can see me. And I can see my fans. All right. Ooh, Skeeter's got me a little bit. You know, you never get used to the Skeeters eating you a little bit. You know, some of them, especially this one group of Skeeters that we call no-see-ums, man, they like to chew on you. You know, they make you itch. Ooh. But I wouldn't trade it. You know, there's just little sacrifices you got to make for the things you love sometimes. Oh, you got to go, Rock? I'll see you. See you later. All right. Good night, my friend. Anyway, so what did you guys think about our small little short soiree outside? Yeah, mosquitoes suck. You know, mozzies, as they would say it in Australia. You know, they kind of suck. But, you know, what's worse than them is horseflies. Them big old buggers is just, whoo, ow. You know, they feel like a wasp stinging you. And they'll take a lot of blood too. You go smack that sucker and it looks like the doctor tried to drain you. Yeah, mozzies suck. All right, guys. To the swamp. We changed our lighting up a little bit today. I went with a warmer light, more like a firelight. You know, figured it would be a little nicer. But here's to all my friends, and here's to the swamp. Ugh. There we go. Now that ought to keep the Skeeters out of my room. Bullflies. Yeah, we don't have bullflies. We have horseflies. You know, that's what we have over here at Nightshade. I'm just eating alive from mosquitoes. Yeah, if you came down here, brother, you would. Like, trust me. I live in Southeast Texas, man. Spam tons. Spare change. Spamton spare change. Yeah, I live in Southeast Texas, man. Horse flies are about this big, and they'll drill the snot out of you. Like, they'll leave a whelp. And they hurt, and they bite through jackets. I've had one bite through a leather jacket. Yeah, ow. You know, you let that sucker sit there long enough, he'll drill a hole. Oh, what you retract your message for there? You're in Appalachia. All right. How about I just call you Spare Change, because I can't say the first part of your name. But that Appalachia is cool. I've always wanted to go there. That's the size of bullflies there. All right. They might be about the same species. It's just different locations, you know, evolved along the same lines. Convergent evolution, if you would say. But yeah, we call them horse flies. And owie, 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 owie. I remember you, King. Definitely, because I was like, hey, one king to another, because they used to call me the Silver King till I messed up. But we're working on getting that title back. You want to live in Wyoming? That's not a bad place to go. My niece is up there right now working at Yellowstone National Park, actually. You know, I'm very proud of her for that. I wish I could get a job like that. That would be so amazing. But honestly, where I'd like to go is the deep southern swamps of Louisiana. You know, have me a nice little houseboat. You have a scar from a bullfly? Yeah, I've got a couple of scars from some horseflies. Seems like a great place for bush plane flying. Possibly. You go out to Lake Sam Rayburn, you probably got some good areas for a bush plane to land. I used to live in Wyoming before. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, Quila names bull versus horse. I don't know what you said, brother, but it sounded funny, so I'm going to laugh at it. But anyway, guys, yeah, it's been definitely different these past few days because of all this extra rain we've had. It's brought in a lot more critters. Believe it or not, today I caught 4.5-foot black snake in the front yard. But before my niece could go get the camera, he tagged the snot out of me, and I had to let him go. So, yeah, we didn't get the chance because he tagged me. I let him go, and as soon as I dropped him, he took off. You know, because he happened to tag me in the nethers. So it was one of those. Oh boy, I don't like horseflies either. But anyway. Here's a scald to all of our friends who's come in and all of our new friends, including Mr. Spare Change. Scald. Turns out bullflies and horseflies are different. Thanks. Thanks, Google. Okay, thank you, Rich. Ryder, what's up? What you got going on? Dude, it's okay. But yeah, Ryder, what you got going on? You need help? I was fighting with the person on YouTube. Uh-oh, what'd you do? Hey, other Jennifer. Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm doing really good tonight. So, you know, we did our final thoughts. There wasn't much to say about reconnecting to nature other than, guys, you don't understand the feeling it's going to give you. You know, it's a peace. It's a harmony that, you know, it's totally different. You know, and some people love the city. They love it. They can't get enough of it. Guys, I can't get enough of my swamps. You can take me and put me in a city, but I wither. I wither away real quick. And my mental state goes kaput. But I so love nature. So much extra rain from the last few days. Oh, yeah. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Shut, you all right? I used to play solitaire tournaments when I was younger. Oh, okay, Nightshade. I live in the city, but wish I did not. You know, I hear a lot of people say that lately. My dear friend Ian, he's been on here quite often. He's talked regularly about wishing he could leave the city and going to a small town. Hey, what's up, McCash? But he says constantly about how he wants to go to a small town, about how he wants to just, live somewhere different and live in the country, where he could have his freedom. He says he envies me, because I have freedom. Guys, I fought for that. I did not I did not roll over gently and go away in the night. I stood up and I said, no, I have a right to the Second Amendment. I will have the ability to have my guns, regardless of the fact that I'm a schizophrenic. They will only be used for hunting. That's why I only have them for hunting. That's why I don't buy assault rifles or anything like that. I will only have them for home defense, which is the reason why I'm getting me a revolver, and then I'm leaving it at that. But, guys, I fought for my right to be free because I know my rights, and you guys are going to have to do it one day too. Y'all are going to have to fight for it. Everybody is. It sucks. It's true. Unless you live outside this country where your country's secure already, our country's in turmoil. America's absolutely in the crap, at the moment. And it's us as citizens' faults. We haven't done our job and stood up and said no. Instead, we rolled over, and now our nature is paying the price, because there's this bill going on in Western Kentucky right now where they're literally going to be allowed to poison the water supply. They're going to allow a certain amount of pollution into the water supply in rural country areas. Guys, that's not right. You're literally telling me that these poor country folks are literally going to be allowed to have a certain amount of pollution in their water, while these city folks get to have the cleanest water possible, even though it's full of chlorine and nastiness. Guys, it's not right. We got to reconnect to nature. We got to reconvene. We got to find a way to live in harmony with nature. We got to find a way to live at peace with nature. No longer keep trying to compete with it. Live with it. Enjoy it. Be at peace with it. Instead of being angry about it, instead of tearing her down, instead of stripping her oil, let's be a little nicer to nature. She's here for us. That's why we need to reconnect to it. I think everybody needs to have at least an hour a day where they can go out to a forest or a national park or something like that. Walk out as far as they want to go off trail, as long as they don't get lost. Always mark your trail, guys. Take little orange or pink flags with you and mark your trail, somehow, so you don't get lost. And make sure you can always see your flag from your next flag. I'll show you how to do it. But anyway, you should be able to do that and go out and pitch a tent and enjoy and then leave. But you better leave the place as clean as it was when you got there. That should always be the rule, not the exception. You should never trash your beautiful nature that you have. You should always care for it. You should always love it, because it's the only nature we got. Yeah, well, if you throw ocean in the waterways, they end up or you throw ocean in the waterways. Blah, listen at me. If you throw trash in the waterways, doesn't matter which waterway it is, it ends up in the ocean eventually, or a pond, or something else. Guys, there's so much trash that ends up at the bottom of lakes and ponds and creeks and rivers and streams and brooks all over the world that it's not funny. And there's literally an island of plastic floating in the ocean, in the Atlantic, I believe. He called your mom the H word writer? Guys, I'm not trying to jinx it. Bro, it was big. Okay. Oh, you caught a bass. I realized I got to yakking. I got way behind. I'm sorry, guys. Thanks, King. You understand. I got you, man. Hey, it's all good. Oh, you know, I got you, Ryder. Don't worry. Don't be angry. Just calm down, man. It'll be all right. You know, words are just words. That's one thing that people have got to get over. Words are just words, man. You know, they don't do nothing to you. They're just a word. Why did you lose a moniker of Silver King? I lost all my followers for a little bit there. I made a mistake. I interviewed somebody I shouldn't have for a moment without getting proper permission, and made a boo boo, made an internet boo boo, and made myself look bad. So I'm trying to earn it back. I think I lost it. My fans say I didn't, but I think I lost it, and I'm trying to earn it back. All right, thank you, Ryder. It's okay, man. Words don't hurt as much as physical. Just keep positive. Exactly. Words are just words thrown back at somebody. Your mama's an H word. Oh, yeah. Well, I heard your mama's a B word. Or simply look at them and go, well, how'd you find out? What'd you pay for it? I'll always find a way to come with a retort. It's easier to do that than to get mad. Because if you can make others laugh at them, oh, they really give up quick. Oh, it was because I was creating a charity. I still am working on it, called the Knights of the Holy Rose Sanctum. And as the founder of it and leader of it, they were calling me the Silver King because I was going to be leading the Silver chapter, and that's what it was. I know, Nightshade. It's all good now. I ain't even worried about it. I'm just waiting for it all to work itself out. I'm not blaming anybody, Nightshade. I'm not even angry about it because the people that left obviously didn't see what I was trying to do, which was trying to include everybody, which was trying to be a role model and a friend to everyone, not just some select few. I put my show as not for kids, but that's because I don't want anyone that's like 9 or 10 years old or 13 years old or something like that in here. I would prefer somebody who's at least 17 or older. Some people are younger, but they've proven themselves to be intelligent and mature enough to be here because I didn't know they were that young until they had started being in the show. So I've let them stay. Why? Because that's my job, is to teach the younger generation, in my opinion. And I've let them stay in the chat. And it might make me look bad to some people, but I know who I am. I know my intentions. Kiss my butt. But either way, let's get off of negative stuff. Let's get back to the fun stuff, the hangout. Yes, it's not Clint or your Nightshade. It's trolls that did it. Yeah, it's definitely some people that turned troll, for sure. They turned angry about stuff, and they couldn't get over it. And, that's the problem with trolls. I think a lot of trolls are angry about their own life, and so they try to take it out on everybody else. And that's just like a normal bully. A normal bully is angry about something in their life, so they take it out on everyone around them. Or you have those weird few that literally just view themselves as better than everybody else and just want to treat everybody like trash. And those people are just really awful. I really can't stand them kind of people. Like in that show Mean Girls. You actually got people like that. Even after you get out of high school, you got the queen bee type. And they're awful. And then you still got the jock type who still thinks he's a football star, who still thinks he needs to be treated special. That you get all them. Even after you get out of school. It sucks. It's horrible. I'm sure everybody else here that's an adult in this chat knows exactly what I'm talking about. You got them butt kissers, brown nosers, and you got your bullies and your jerks and everything else that you got to deal with. And they just get more. You just got to handle dealing with more of them.
That's all. Yeah, can't fix stupid. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. But yeah, you know, you're gonna run into these people the rest of your days. And if you end up working in a retail store, which by the way, scald to anybody who works in the food industry and the retail that has to deal with customers every single day. That includes the tourist trade. Scald. Excuse me. That goes out to all you guys because y'all put up with a lot of bull crap. All right. We actually have a new audience. So I can tell the story. All right, listen here, guys. This was when I was younger. Okay. I was maybe 19. All right. I worked in a Taco Bell. I called it Taco Hell. I would sit there. I'd be like, hola, me llamo Paco, and I spend all day and night slinging tacos. You know, because it would just drive me nuts because that's all I was doing was just passing taco after taco after taco. Well, this lady, she comes in and she orders 3 of the large party packs. And then she orders 2 of the large burrito party packs. Guys, that's 24 burritos. That's 12, 24, 48. No, not 48. 36. That is 36 tacos. 36 tacos and 24 burritos. And she was mad because some of the tacos were not hot. They were only warm. She also had drinks to go with every single taco and every single burrito. So, yeah, it took us a while to make this order. So I'm trying to calm her down because guess who had to hand her the food? Because nobody else wanted to. Joy! Well, anyway, so I bring her the food. She's whining and complaining. These tacos are cold. Ma'am, I'm sorry. We didn't have enough room underneath our heating lamps. You know, so I'm getting in this conversation. I'm trying to chill it out, right, guys? I'm looking this lady dead in the eyes because I'm trying to be as honest as possible with this woman, and I'm trying to calm her down. Well, little Miss Karen, I can't really say little Miss, maybe Little Miss Giant Miss, you know, because I mean, she was like 4 foot tall, but she was like 5 foot wide. But anyway, she got real mad and decided at one point when I looked at her, I said, well, ma'am, if you didn't order this much food in one go and expect it to be cold, then you're not the brightest tool in the, you know, you're not the brightest bulb in the box. You know, you might want to go get a little sharper. And as soon as I said that, she throws her Baja Blast Icy in my eyes, straight in my open eyeballs. Citrus in the eyes sucks. Mountain Dew in the eyes really sucks. Mountain Dew Icy in the eyes burns like hell. So it felt like getting maced. Well, my first reaction is to grab the nearest object to me and hit her with it. It was a burrito. So I straight up slapped her with a bean and cheese burrito right in the face, just smack. And of course, I get fired. But I never forget the day I got to slap a Karen with a bean and cheese burrito. that joke and that story always makes me laugh so much because, guys, you can't make that kind of shit up. I straight up slapped her with a bean and cheese burrito. She was so mad, dude. Oh my God. Oh man, but the rest of the restaurant was dying laughing because she was just causing such a disruption. And I literally I couldn't help it when she did that, just and my boss even pulled me over to the side and was like, okay, I was about to come chew her ass out and tell her to leave. But God, dude, you had to hit her with the burrito, man. You literally had to hit her with the bean and cheese, brother. Holy crap. I'm sorry I got to let you go, man, but that was gorgeous. Oh man, I love that story. Yes, it looks bad on me because I got fired and I hit a lady in the face. But at least I hit her in the face with something floppy. It just happened to be a burrito and it was warm. It went everywhere. But she's okay. She shut her mouth in a heartbeat. She just her husband's sitting over there going, he thinks I'm 2 seconds away from this woman ripping my face off. And she's just, I never. And I looked at her. I said, yeah, I've never hit anybody with a burrito before either, lady, but that burned. And I'm wiping it out of my face. And she says, she goes, I want your job, as the manager is pulling me away. And I'm like, no problem. But guys, oh my gosh. That's just one of the things that's happened to me, that was rather funny. Oh gosh, I gotta breathe. My ribs hurt now. I'm so glad you guys enjoyed the story, but I figured since y'all are all a new audience, I'd go on ahead and tell y'all the famous burrito story from down here in Lumberton, where a nice, happy, fat Karen got slapped with a bean and cheese burrito. I just wish it was full of guac. The sad part was whenever she went walking out the store, some poor kid pointed at her, and this is bad parenting on their part, but absolutely hilarious to finish out the story. Some little kid turns around and looks at her on the way out and points at her and goes, Mommy, is that a beaner? Because she's covered in refried beans. And that just broke it. The whole store lit up. But that's bad parenting on the parents' part, because they should have never used a racial slur in front of a child. But to really think about saying that, was just, whoo. Scald to that poor lady in her humiliation that day, because I know she wasn't happy. Repeat the story again. You really want to hear me tell you about me slapping somebody with a burrito? Oh yeah, guys. So sometimes, basically the moral of the story is, sometimes your kindness can calm somebody down. And sometimes you just gotta slap a Karen with a burrito. Oh my gosh. Oh man. But oh yeah, she deserved it for sure. But that was definitely a fun little story that I love telling from my past. I was probably 19 to 22, somewhere around there. And she really made me mad. I don't normally hit a woman, but that hurt. So I returned the favor and hurt her feelings, because I was in pain. She was her pride was in pain. And trust me, that woman's pride was as wide as a Buick. But anyhow, guys, y'all want to hear another good funny story real quick before we go? This one happened to my Uncle Wayne. All right. So we used to go fishing every year on Lake Livingston with my grandfather. And we would enjoy ourselves. Me, my grandpa, both my uncles. And since I was the firstborn grandson, I got to go. Well, we did this for many years until my grandpa got sick. He ended up dying of colon cancer when I was older. When I turned 12, I think. But the day before the bombing of the Twin Towers, the day before the bombing of the Twin Towers is when he died. But this scald goes out to Elsie Lamar Norton, everyone. That was my grandfather, and a great man. Command Sergeant Major, the Vietnam War. cattle farmer, a steel worker, a father, a grandfather, and a great man to my grandpa. Scald. Now, to get to the funny part and get off the serious. So, we would go with my grandpa. Now, I'm about maybe 9 years old, right? We're sitting here in the boat. Boat's probably a good 16-foot Skeeter with an Evinrude engine on the back. Just a simple little flat bottom aluminum. Nothing special. And we're just puttering along bass fishing, right? Well, my Uncle Wayne, my Uncle David, and my grandpa, of course, are all drinking beer. I'm drinking root beer. Good old IBC, right out the bottom. So I'd look like I'd feel like I was part of the boys. You know, they all had their Milwaukee's Best long neck bottles, and I had my IBC root beers. So I could feel like part of the boys. And we're sitting there fishing. Well, anybody who drinks knows that when you drink too much beer, it causes your bladder to go into overdrive. So you're going to pee every few minutes. Well, my Uncle Wayne turns around. He's like, okay, Daddy, pull the boat over. I got to pee. All right. So we pull over. And about the time they do, I'm looking at the water. And there's a nice, good dark patch in the water. Well, I notice front of the dark patch moves. So I go to tell my Uncle Wayne real quick, Wayne, don't do it. But my Uncle Wayne puts his foot right down on top of this thing's back. The water explodes. Uncle Wayne throws himself back into the boat, freaking out, screaming, ah! My grandpa takes the boat off, just going, and I'm sitting there going, because the whole time that he's laying back screaming his head off, there's a nice big old puddle forming in his pants. So I'm dying laughing because I'm the only one who can see what really happened. And what ended up actually causing it to go down was a 16-foot alligator, guys, snapped at his junk. Well, he fell back in the boat. Papa finally slows down at about a half a mile away. He turns around and goes, Wayne, boy, you all right? He looks at him and goes, yeah, Daddy, but I got a problem. And Papa looked at him and goes, we got to go back to camp, don't we? He goes, yeah, I done went Niagara Falls all over my damn self because of freaking gator. And so we went to take off and go back to the house. We passed the same alligator, right? And as we go, it charges the boat. Wayne freaks out again. And this time hits the bottom of the boat straight to his knees and starts to turn green. Well, we all look at him and said, Wayne, what happened now? He goes, that sucker almost had me by the short and curlies. When I seen that mouth coming at me, it just made me think of him clamping around my stuff. So I freaked out and I swallowed my tobacco. So that thing scared him twice. It scared him twice. So first it made him pee on himself. Then it made him swallow his dipping tobacco. Oh, man, that alligator wrecked his day. And from then on, he was having bad luck, guys. I'm talking like line breaking, snags, freaking fish getting off the line. One fish jumped straight into the boat, right into his face. I ain't even joking. When he caught a big old channel cat and it jumped straight at his face, hit him right in the nose. He was just having bad days. No funny stuff, though. Oh, sorry. I thought it was funny to me because, he survives it and everything. But anyway, sorry about that one not being so funny. But the slapping the chick with the burrito, that's one of my funniest. Definitely one of my best times in my life was fishing with my grandfather. And all right, hang on. I'm getting so many alerts here, I'm slowing down. All right, here we are. I was slowing down for a minute. Guys, give me just a second. I gotta go see if my shuck needs to walk. Come on, baby boy. You need to go for a potty? You need to go potty? Let's go potty, baby.
Let's go potty. Yes, let's go potty. Go on, Chuck. Chuck, you go potty? All right, good boy, Chuck. Good boy. Go ahead and take your nap, baby. And guys, that's my Chuck. Getting himself a nice good old nap in now. He jumped straight on the couch. Yeah, he had to go to the bathroom. He didn't have to go very much. He just ran out there, took a good pee real quick, came right back in, went straight to the couch and took a nap. But you know, he hasn't been feeling too good lately, but it might just be his age. You know, guys, he's almost 10 years old. Labs don't normally live that long. So especially around here with the heat, you know, guys, they usually live about 7 to 9 years. He's pushing 10 to 11. So yeah, he's getting old, guys. You know, it's about time I might have to be starting looking into getting a puppy. You know, but if I do, it's probably going to be another little black dog. I like having a black dog. Big black dogs are fun, but it also makes it easier for whenever you use them as a guard dog. People can't see them sitting there in the shadows, so they open up that door, and all of a sudden, watch somebody hit the roof like that raccoon did to try to sneak in here. Boy, oh, that was fun. Freaking 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm sitting here in a dead sleep, right? I left the front door open because I didn't have an AC at the time. So I left the front door open, but the screen door was closed. And this raccoon opens up the little slider on the screen door and starts to climb in. Well, I'm sitting here in dead sleep. Next thing I know, I hear roar, 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 roar. Chuck starts going nuts. The house starts sounding like there's a hurricane going on in the middle of it. And I'm trying to figure out what the heck is going on. So I shoot up. I grab my 22. I go running into the living room. And sure enough, Chuck is chasing around this big old fat raccoon. And it's freaking the hell out. And I'm like, oh, hell. So I have to go grab a pair of leather gloves while Chuck is still chasing this raccoon around my house, just destroying it. And I got to go get these leather gloves so I can catch this poor raccoon and let it go before Chuck decides to have it for dinner. Well, needless to say, I got bit by the little sucker twice. And I ended up not exactly letting it go because after he bit me the second time, I got mad at him. And I decided we were going to eat him. So we ended up eating the little guy instead. Yo, you ever had a cat? Yeah, I've had cats before. Read the next previous comment. I think Taco Bell one gets a 100 out of 10. That one was funny. Yeah, for sure. The Taco Bell one got a 100 out of 10 for sure. It always gets the most laughs. You know, that's my best funny story. You know, I've had a few others. Like there was this one incident where I was working for the Texas Parks and Wildlife, not really actually working for them, volunteer. You know, I was catching animals for them. I was doing alligator and rattlesnake research, and I was called in every now and then with animal control, especially whenever it dealt with wild animals instead of just dogs or cats. Well, this lady called in at one point. And she said she was hearing funny noises up underneath her porch. And she thought, "Ooh, I'm sorry, your ears are ringing." But she heard
funny noises coming out from underneath the porch. And she reported it as a raccoon. So we gathered up everybody. They brought me in because, I can climb up underneath the porch easier because I was younger. Most of the guys I worked with were in their 50s. They didn't exactly want to go climbing up underneath the porch. Well, we get ready. 3 mods and 4 creeps. Or 4 mods and 3 creeps. There we go. I said it wrong. Sorry, guys. But anyway, so I climb up underneath there. It goes nuts. Like you just hear coming out from underneath there, and all of a sudden I come flying out from underneath there, and I'm cut up from head to toe. I look over there. I said, "That raccoon lady." They look at me and they said, "What's wrong, Clint?" I said, "That's a dead-gum bobcat." And they were like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, that's a dead-gum bobcat. She done had cubs down there. I'm in trouble." They said, "Why are you in trouble?" I said, "She still got me by the seat of the pants." And she, sure enough, she still had her claws dug into the seat of my pants. And I was just like, so yeah, that was, whoa, that was an incident. And then the guy that tranked her didn't give her enough tranquilizer. And luckily for us, the way we transport them when we trank a bobcat, especially considering that the back of the animal control vehicle was full of dogs already. So we had just gotten the call. He was like, "Man, I just cleared out a bunch of strays. I ain't got somebody's going to have to sit in the back with the bobcat." So I was sitting in the back with her. She had a muzzle on and she had these Kevlar gloves on her feet. So she couldn't claw anybody up just in case. Sure enough, she woke up and I had to get in a damn boxing match with the same freaking stupid bobcats. Yeah, fun. They hurt. They hit like a grown man. I mean, it just pow, 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 pow. Oh, holy crap. I had to get in a wrestling match with a stinking bobcat. That was, ugh. Whoo, boy, I'm glad I was young for that one. So, yeah, that was the rest of that story there. But years ago, my brother and I were driving down a back road, and as we were passing a house, we saw a lady and throwing a possum out of the door on a shovel. What's up, Amethyst? How you doing? Practicing my solitaire right now. All right, I'm no good at card games. Unless it's Magic the Gathering, I'm no good at card games. What's up, Amethyst? How you doing, sweetheart? Welcome in, sweetheart, guy, whatever you are. I forgot. But anyway, we're just sitting here chilling for right now. Sorry I'm late. I was playing VR. Oh, all right. I want to get a VR headset and play one of the oh crap. One of the SCP breach games. SCP is something I'm fascinated with. And in case you guys haven't figured it out yet or know what it is, check the Vulgan. Go to the Vulgan here on YouTube. And he's got a bunch of SCP videos for you to watch. Even videos that discuss it. Go to his earliest videos and he'll tell you what SCP's about. Yes, there's some cryptids in there. In fact, there's one in there that's called the Wendigo skull, where it just looks like a deer skull with a carving in the back of it. But it makes you have the impulse to put it on, and it can actually jump at you and attach itself to your face like a freaking face hugger and say, "No, you're mine anyway." And if your head doesn't fit, you will bash your head against the wall until it fits in there or you die. And then it turns you into a Wendigo. Yeah. Then it turns you into a Wendigo. So it just gets worse. But they don't have just scary things. There's an SCP in there, SCP-999. SCP-999 is the tickle monster. Yeah. The tickle monster. It's an orange blob of slime that eats candy, has a happy face all the time, and has these little black eyeballs, and loves hugs, and tickles everybody when they feel sad. Oh, nice, Sean. Wendigo is a good YouTube page. I'll definitely check him out. Search up Candle Cove. I've seen Candle Cove. I've seen Candle Cove and Channel Zero. I saw the whole series. There was Candle Cove. Then there was No End House and Butcher Bay. And there was one other, Dream House or something like that. Those were some great series. Buying the MetaQuest for we're going quick here. Or 3 VR headsets. Oh, okay. Tell everyone the Taco Bell story again. All right. Hey, Superior. Since we got some new people here, and Bubba's want me to, I'm going to tell the Taco Bell story again. All right, guys. So I used to work at Taco Bell around 19 to 22. I can't remember. It's been a while. Don't test my knowledge. But anyway, so I used to work at Taco Bell. We had this big, massive order of 36 tacos and 24 burritos and a drink to go with every single one of them. Well, this lady got mad when she comes to pick up the order. Not only, I forgot this part, not only was she 10 minutes late to pick up the order, but we didn't have enough space to keep everything heated. So we were alternating this stuff, right? And she pulls up and she's like, "These tacos are cold." I'm like, "Ma'am, I'm sorry." And she's like, "I need to talk to your manager. This is total crap." I'm like, "Ma'am, our manager is busy right now. I am a shift leader. I can help you with the situation. Don't worry." She's turning into a total Karen out of nowhere. She's demanding the entire thing be free and is just throwing a fit. Well, eventually I said, "Well, ma'am, if you wouldn't have bought as much food, you wouldn't have had to worry about some of it being cold. Did you ever think of that? Or maybe if you would have been on time." Well, when I said that, she got mad and she throws her icy, which is a Baja Blast, Mountain Dew Baja Blast, right in my open eyeballs because I'm staring her straight in the eyes. And she throws it right in my open eyeballs. Guys, citrus sucks in your eyes. Mountain Dew sucks in your eyes. Sugar sucks in your eyes. Everything sucks in your eyes that's inside of a slushie. Especially the cold. The cold shocks your eyeballs. So, man, it hurt like getting maced. The first thing out of my mind was I throw my hand down and I grab the first thing near me and I smack her with it. Well, it turned out to be a burrito. I slapped her with a bean and cheese burrito right across the face in front of an entire store full of people, in front of my manager, in front of all my coworkers. Everybody went silent. She goes, her husband goes, and her kids go, and I'm just standing there going, "You got any more problems?" And then, that's when my manager took me back. She starts screaming at the top of her lungs, "I want your job. I want your job." All because I slapped somebody with a burrito. But yeah, I lost my job. But it was fun hitting a Karen with a burrito. That was definitely a ball. But you know what, guys? I just don't feel like going just yet. So we're going to chill for a little while longer. Just a little while longer. Also, Clint, want to know the effects to my desk because of my worst crisis a few years ago. Want to know the effects to my desk because of my worst crisis a few years ago. Sure, Amethyst, go on ahead and say it. All right, we're getting full up real quick. Give me a second. All right. Game over for Karen. Yes. Fatality burrito. There's a big dent in your desk. Ooh, I get that. I'm trying to think if I have anything here. Oh, no, I threw it away. I have a lamp that I got mad at one point because of the voices in my head. They were driving me nuts. And I ended up punching one of the lanterns I used to have hanging from my roof. And I totally shattered it all over the place. Burrito! Oh, I forgot to tell y'all the fun part too. On our way out, some little 4-year-old kid two to 4 year old, something like that. Looks up at his mom, and the lady's covered in beans all over the side of her face, right? So he points at the lady and goes, "Hey, mommy, is that a beaner?" On her way out, and we just died laughing. Yes, it was bean and cheese. Bean and cheese with red sauce. So yeah, just schmick right across the face. Yeah, and you think getting slapped with a tortilla sucks. Get slapped with a wet burrito. Good Lord, ow. Luckily, I didn't get an assault charge put on me. But she almost did for damn near blinding me, actually. But anyway, guys, this call goes out to all of y'all for all of y'all being here. Yes, you gotta love kids, but y'all are absolutely great. Thank you all. Definitely, that's the best story ever. Thank you, Cass. Now I have a feeling I'm gonna have to tell that burrito story forever. Yo, she was covered in beans. She was covered in cheese. She was covered in red sauce. I mean, she looked like Fat Amy off of freaking Pitch Perfect whenever she got hit by the burrito in the movie. It was just splat. Scald to you guys. Oh, man. I'm about to go check my clothes real quick, and I'll be back, guys. Oh. Yeah. Get my butt up. All right, I'm back, guys. Sorry it took so long. I had to transfer my clothes over and put a new load in. So sorry it took a minute. And it looks like everybody was talking to each other. Sorry, Latif. Sorry, Latif. I have Dr. Pepper in my eyes once. Ooh, that hurts too. Dr. Pepper in the peeper sucks as well, man. You know, I've been there. Guys, we're going to probably go for another, probably going to shoot for maybe either 2 hours or an hour and 45 minutes. Okay, guys? I'm just lurking, playing IRL solitaire like the good old days. Oh, yeah, I'm still doing great there, Vad. How you doing, man? We just had a bump in the road for the channel for a little bit, but we gonna get everything together. So no, we're doing tomorrow night is the reading. Tomorrow night is the reading. Oh, I'm doing good, Lofty. Lotif. How you doing? Best stream. Thank you. Guys, yeah, tomorrow night is the Blackened Hills reading. In fact, I got something to show you guys. This is from the book itself. This is my language. That is actually a page straight from the book, handwritten by me. So yeah, we're going to throw that up there for a little bit. When's the next training fishing vid? I don't know when the next fishing video is going to be. The next training video will be as soon as my yard dries back up again. Because if you would have been in the live stream a little earlier, you can ask like Nightshade and Bubba and them. Y'all could hear me just trudging through water all the way up to my doorstep. I love the one shorts that you did. It was like I had nothing to do. Instead, I took a nap. Yeah, that one was fun. We already released Bucky, unfortunately. She started looking not so good. We took her to a vet. He gave her some medication, and we went on ahead and let her go in an estuary where she'll be safe in a friend of ours' yard. It was an emergency release. But what we are going to do is I'm going to save up the money, and I'm going to actually get me another turtle, but I'm going to get me a little baby turtle, one that's been domesticated, so we know for a fact she'll eat. Oh, okay. See you later, Amethyst. Yeah, sorry, Sean. Bye. It was good to have you here. Yeah, we're going to get us a baby turtle. Oh, yeah, she'll be happy in the estuary we threw her into. It's definitely a lot better than where we had her. I did my best for her, guys, but she just was not taking to the tank. So I did an emergency release. But we're definitely going to still be taking this June and watching for baby turtles to be hatching in the yard. Not only that, but we're going to be watching for baby turtles to be hatching around the creeks and everything like that. And we're going to be taking and relocating them and making sure that they can get to a safe location, guys. I have a friend that has a turtle pond. It's specifically for turtles, and I'm going to bring them out there. Oh, yeah. I love turtles. Not only that, but there's a local park around here called Knuppel that they have a pond there, and it's a turtle pond, and people go in there to feed the turtles, so we can release them there too. So there's a couple locations we're going to be going to either look for or release turtles, but we got to find them. It's just like a hunting trip. You never know. Why don't we throw up another picture real fast, shall we? Thank you, Amethyst. Let's throw up a different picture. This, guys, is another animation straight from the show. Now, you can't see the whole thing, which sucks. Let's try this one. Ah, yes. My strigoi. These guys are gnarly, you know, but these are my strigoi. Anyway, we're going to cut off of that. We need to save the turtles. Yes, I'd love to actually be able to go down the beach and look for hatching sea turtles, you know, and help them get to the water. That would be a lot of fun. But it's getting out to the beach. I would love to do it, especially with you guys. But it's getting out to the beach to do it, to search for them hatching. You know, if any of my Texas viewers are watching, let's all come together. Hey, somebody come grab my butt and let's go to the beach. Let's go save some turtles. You know, also, you know, we've got other situations that we're going on. You could put up my characters for the series we are attempting to write together. You know what? I got to save them. I got to save them to my photos folder. Blah. They're saved in my regular pictures right now. I have to save them to my photos, which is different. Made me smile even if I'm depressed. Oh, thank you. You're in Tennessee, Cass? That's awesome. Yes, yes. Those pictures of those robin eggs, guys, those have been from our friend Ohan. He's been sending them to me in a text message, and I've been posting them on here. And I've been trying to go day by day to see how the robin eggs are doing. In fact, here's the picture of them right here. Let's let this load up. They're way up here. But yeah, you can barely see them right about there. There's the robin eggs. Let's try to get a better picture. Let's see if this one will work better. Okay, yeah, there we go. As you can see, there's the little robin eggs sitting in their nest. This was a picture delivered to us by Ohan. You know, always did love robins. Their eggs are so pretty. Yeah, that was just a few hours ago. Yes, I live in America, Amethyst. I live in Southeast Texas. Yeah, hopefully we get a baby bird pic soon, or even better, you catch it as they're hatching. That would be cool. If you could catch photographs as they're hatching, that would be neat. Like that video I caught the other day of that turtle laying her eggs. That was so much fun. You know, I couldn't believe that on our way to a fishing trip, we caught a turtle on the side of the road laying her eggs. You know, that was just so much fun. We were trying to drive past to where we could actually take and, you know, dig up the eggs, bring them home and incubate them and try to hatch them. But we couldn't find the spot where she buried them. She buried them so well, we couldn't find it again. I think somebody may have driven through and possibly, you know, patted the dirt down tight enough to where we couldn't see them anymore. Robin eggs are blue and no other color. Yep. They're so pretty. Robin eggs are definitely beautiful. You live near me, Amethyst? That's awesome. But yeah, we're approaching an hour and 20 minutes, guys. I don't know, but it's the best blue ever, Bubba. I know there are some pretty eggs, man. I used to know a technique where you could take and preserve them in a certain way to where you can put them up as artwork. But I don't remember exactly how to do it. Scald. Thank you, Amethyst. All right, guys. So we're pushing about another 19 minutes left to go. So we're going to work on it, man. We're going to work on it. You know, oh, Bubba's calling for another scald. Let's do another scald. Y'all going to have me peeing like a racehorse. All right, guys. Another scald. This one's to you, Bubba. Scald, my friend. All right. We actually have 2 jugs in the house now. Yeah, you can make dye from the eggs. You can also make dye from beetle shells. In fact, the ink that was used to tattoo my arm was made from crushed beetle shells, charcoal, and honey. What's up, Lotifa? Or Lotif? Taiba. That how you say it? Taiba? Also, when I did the tattoo, guys, I did it with an alligator gar tooth. So this is as tribal as you can get when it comes down to a tattoo. Taiba, okay, that's cool. Nice to meet you, Taiba. Welcome to the group. Thank you for joining the show. I'm sorry I missed you earlier. I was transferring clothes. So that was the reason why I wasn't here. I live in a swamp. Oh, Amethyst is calling for a scald. But yeah, I live in a swamp. So I have to do my laundry over at my friend's house, I live in his front yard in an RV. So I don't have any washer and dryer here. So I got to go to his house. And I got to trudge through water, change all the clothes, trudge back through water to get over here. It is the way it is. This is to Amethyst. Here's you a scald, my dear. Scald. All right. Yeah, that's my only tattoo. That is my only tattoo at the moment. Yeah, I'm working on getting some more. I just can't afford them. Medication time. Meds. Get some Bayer aspirin here for my heart. Because till I can get some heart medication, guys, if you ever have a high blood pressure or anything like that, get some Bayer aspirin. Start a regimen with it because it's actually going to help you out. Believe it or not, I've been having really high blood pressure lately, and taking Bayer aspirin has helped a lot. Did it with you? Nice, Amethyst. Thank you for doing a scald with me. All right. Be just a second here, guys, while I gather up all this medication. You should get a tat of the swampy water and a gator on top of the muddy water. I got you. I thought about getting a tattoo of an alligator in the marsh. Simply just so I can always remember my swamps. But like I said, tattoos are expensive. I could only do this tattoo because I did it myself. There we go. Can you do a drawing for the tomorrow afternoon stream? Yeah, I could throw up. Yeah, I could do a drawing for it. Scald to good mental health. Actually, I have a new piece of artwork that I recently did, just goofing around last night because I couldn't sleep. I believe Jim's the Clown got to see this one, but yeah, I drew a little Troodon, just having fun. I like dinosaurs and things like that. So I decided to just draw myself one and see how my hand was at it. And I don't think I did too bad. I think the little guy looks pretty good. And I like the old classic style, to the dinosaur art. So that's why I made him the way I did. See you tomorrow, Bubba. Rotating yourself hurts less. What's your lucky number and why? Honestly, Mike, I don't have a lucky number. I don't know. Can I do your what there, Amethyst? Can I do a picture for you? Thank you, Sean. See you later, Bubba. Bye, man. Thank you. Thank you. Tattoo's not rotating. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. It hurts doing it to yourself. You're still here? Isn't Amethyst 10 years old? Honestly, I don't know. Siren head draw. Oh yeah, your siren head drawing. I gotta put it up. Amethyst sent it. Nightshade sent it to me. I've got to upload it too. Guys, I've been doing a lot of work back and forth today, so I really haven't been able to check out on things. I've been doing a lot of repairs in the house. But anyway, guys, I think we'll actually probably going to cut this off at in about a couple minutes, actually, guys. Why? Because I need to go on ahead and call my Jen and spend some time with her. I also need to finish out my clothes, and I need to do the dinner dishes. Dang it. I got to adult. That's the only thing that sucks. Nice. Y'all watch the Minecraft movie. Incredible. Anyway, so yeah, guys, we'll see y'all next time. Thank y'all so much for being here. Y'all are absolutely incredible. Y'all definitely build the backbone of this channel. I can't wait to see you all again next time. You guys are incredible. And remember that. Don't let anybody snuff out your light. Always keep it burning. Always push forward. Never look back. All right, guys? So, for now, y'all have a wonderful night, and I'll see y'all later. And remember, see from the swamp, later from a gator. Love you, mama. Love you, papa. Love yourself. Be kind, and always find a way to help, guys. We'll check you next time here in the swamps.